2012 has been a momentous year in planning. I'm Maggie Baddeley, I'm a Senior Associate Director here at Nathaniel Litchfield and Partners, and I'm also Vice Chair of the Planning Committee at the British Property Federation. I'm here with Jim Fennell, Managing Director of NLP, and we're here to talk about some of the changes that have been made to planning in 2012 and what the issues in 2013 might be for the development industry. David Cameron at the Tory party conference in October said that planners were the yes but no people and that planning was stifling the economy. Jim, what's your view on his opinion?
Well, it's not entirely fair, but David Cameron's views do reflect those of his Treasury team. The government's pushing hard for economic growth. That's of paramount importance. So they feel that strongly that planning must play its part. Therefore, there's lots of changes afoot in the planning industry as a result of that.
The National Planning Policy Framework, then, the NPPF as we all know it, that's been the biggest news this year. With its presumption in favour of sustainable development, do you think it's made a big difference to how decisions are being made?
Well, it certainly is the biggest planning news of the year. And yes, we have seen some change. We've done some research of housing appeals before and after the NPPF. And since March, when the NPPF was published, we've seen a 17% increase in approvals of decisions from the Secretary of State and the Planning Inspectorate. And that's a significant increase, especially in such a short space of time. And if that momentum can be maintained, we can expect that that will make a significant inroad into the housing shortfall.
And there's the new government guidance that's going to accompany the NPPF that's due out in the summer 2013.
Well, we must assume for now that the government will keep to its promise that policy won't be supplemented by the guidance, and Lord Taylor, who's leading that review, has indicated that that won't be the case.
Moving on then to the Community Infrastructure Levy, CIL, I understand, well, my own experience already is that developers are becoming increasingly concerned about its effects on the viability of development.
Yeah, developers have got a right to be concerned, and on the one hand the government is saying they're doing all they can for development to encourage economic growth. On the other hand, they're introducing a new tax. There's a big contradiction between, say, the government's proposals for easing the burden of affordable housing provision versus the rollout of CIL.
There have been amended rules, at least, which do clear up some of the mistakes in the legislation, but they don't deal with the issue of viability.
No, they certainly don't. We'd hoped in the autumn statement that there would be an announcement from government that there would be a CIL holiday, perhaps until after the next election. That's not happened. What we did have last week was further changes to the CIL guidance and an indication that there will be further review and guidance during 2013. We welcome that. Also, importantly, councils are now being given more time to put their CIL charging schedules in place beyond the 2014 deadline.
So 2013 will definitely still see CIL changes then, and new NPPF guidance. There's also been, in 2012, so many planning consultations and new draft bills that will deal with changing the way we make planning applications, the way decisions are made and the way appeals are lodged. We haven't had time, unfortunately, to discuss the implications of all these changes.
Yeah, there's lots of them. We haven't got time to go through them all, but I think it's fair to say that when you look at many of the reforms in isolation, they will only affect a handful of schemes or handful of developers. But when you put them together, they will have a real impact. And what we're hoping to see is that the improvements that we've identified through our housing appeals analysis will be spread more widely across different sectors and areas, and especially see some improvement at the local decision making.
It'll be interesting to see what happens actually on the ground next year then, Jim, and I'll look forward to future broadcasts with you to look at how the changes are being implemented. In the meantime, if viewers would like to look at the NLP website, other pages where there's details of the research that Jim referred to, as well as other planning law and policy updates on the Insight pages that I think viewers will find of interest and probably of great relevance. Thank you.